Cleanliness is next to godliness. As many episodes before this, current circumstances become the inspiration behind an episode. This one is no different. Recently, I've been experimenting with application of color and new prep techniques. And what dawned on me is the only way I'm ever going to have a successful result is if the glass I'm using is clean. Now, this might sound like a duh moment, but as simple as this can be, it's easy to look past and not follow through on this. Look at the glass you have in your studio. Not the finished products, but the raw materials. How are you storing it? Is everything exposed to the elements of your studio? Are your rods and tubing of clear stored in the boxes that came in? Or are they all unpacked and stored on a shelf? How about your color? Are you using PVC tubes to keep each color or size of clear glass rods sorted and separate? The reason I ask is if your glass is exposed to the elements of the studio and not stored in a sealed container, it's being exposed to the environment and picking up dust, dirt, and grime in the air. The small particles will potentially coat your glass and will show up in your work if not cleaned properly. Even the glass that is kept stored away in the boxes that came in are going to have traces of some particles that need to be cleaned. Even the oils from your hands will adhere to the glass and show up in your work. This is why it's important to not only evaluate how you store your raw materials, but also how you're cleaning your glass, if you're even cleaning it to begin with. So first, let's talk about storing your materials. With the variety of lengths that glass material comes in, it can be a daunting task to find the right containers for storing materials. If you use the boxes that the clear rod and tubing come in, you won't have to keep a bunch of large plastic containers in the studio. For color rods and even clear rods, you can use a PVC tube to safely and neatly keep your color separated and out of the studio elements. Just make sure to buy caps that appropriately fit the tubing, and these can be stored on a shelf or a rack. There are many options. Personally, I drilled pilot holes on one side of 6 tubes, which I was then able to fasten to the shelf and made them the bottom set. This will create a stable base for other tubes to rest on and not roll around. And this is just one option. Now you can use these to store your color and clear rods. After you create a bunch of prep like vac stacks or sections for a larger build, a great way to store them is to find a rolling bread rack with separate trays. They come with a plastic cover, and this is an ideal environment. Also, try using plastic wrap or saran wrap to literally wrap your prepped sections for an extra barrier and store it in plastic bins with lids. This creates a simple way to keep your prep clean and organized, plus easy to grab on the go when you're traveling to other studios to work. So now let's talk cleaners. Most glass cleaners contain ammonia and chemicals that will stay on the surface of the glass even if it looks like it's clean and dried. Cloths from your dryer can also leave residue on your glass if any type of fabric softener was used. One thing I use is rubbing alcohol, which is not always ideal because the evaporation factor of it makes it so that it goes away quickly and doesn't last as long. Also, as a warning, if you apply rubbing alcohol to hot glass, it can potentially combust. So what shall we use? A natural remedy that is used in a lot of households is a mixture of water and vinegar and some sort of paper. But according to yourbestdigs.com, their research showed that Windex brand glass cleaner is still proven to be the best. One other thing you can use is a spray bottle with a mixture of rubbing alcohol and water. Another option I use is a hand sanitizer that's unscented, as that will help to clean the glass, and in the gel form it doesn't evaporate as quickly and can go a little further. As you can tell, there are many ways to clean your glass and many reasons why. Just remember, clean glass and organized stored away prep will lead to a better clarity in your final product. In the end, create good habits that will lead you to creating your best work. And this has been your WyzGuy Radio Minute.